So hi, can you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. I'm Gina Bianchini, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Ning.
So tell us how Ning got started.
So Ning got started really through me and Mark sitting around talking about, what would happen if everyone had the opportunity to create their own social application, social network for anything, and that's really what drives and motivates us. People being in charge of their own destiny through their own social networks with their decisions and their choice of features and their look and feel and their brand. And it's pretty fun, pretty exciting.
This was a couple years ago?
Yeah. So in 2004 we started the company.
Okay. And where are you now? I hear you have almost 100,000 social networks signed up.
We will pass 100,000 social networks on Saturday. So that's basically, in the last 7 months alone, we've had 70,000 social networks created on the Ning platform.
Okay. So tell me about the idea of a local social network. Why don't people just go to the big platforms and hang out there?
Well, so first of all, I don't sort of consider them big platforms. They're essentially one-size-fits-all social networks, not so dissimilar from AOL back in the early 90s. They're one page. You can't actually pull in, even Facebook apps to a Facebook group. They have a narrow and fixed view of what people can do. You can't customize them. You can't actually have your own brand on them. You can't change the look and feel of them. Even on MySpace, you can't change the look and feel, really, of a MySpace group. On Ning, it's all yours. It's your choice of features. It's you creating your own world instead of simply joining someone else's.
What about revenue? Can a blogger set up a Ning site and get some money from advertising?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's $19.95 a month to run your own ads. Otherwise, it's a free service, and and at that point, we run the ads. But for $19.95 a month, then you can run your own ads and have your own sponsorships, and really, you essentially have 100% of the real estate is yours. You can also, for another $4.95 a month, you can actually use your own domain name and then take off all the promotional links from Ning as well.
So how does Ning make money?
As I mentioned, it's a free service, and we reserve the right to run ads on the free service.
Right.
We're today using targeted Google AdSense. Or people can choose to take those ads off and run their own ads, or choose from a variety of other premium services. And those are our two revenue streams. It's pretty simple.
Okay, yeah. And is that working? Are you in the black yet, or
We're not in the black, but we are making money. So,
any idea in a year or two? Is there projections of when you're going to be profitable?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we have them internally.
Tell me about some of the social networks on Ning. What are some of the more popular ones, some more interesting ones?
The thing that blows us away every day is the diversity of these networks. So we have everything from journalists who are organizing in a private social network for other independent journalists covering war-torn regions called the Frontline Club. They have a physical club in London, but they're using their social network on Ning to be able to share seminars that they're having at the physical club in London, to allow people and allow these journalists to keep in touch with each other as they're traveling around the world, sharing their work, their photos, their videos. It's a really powerful private social network in that case to Raucous Records, which is creating a social network for fans of hip-hop and has full integration with their Raucous.com site with MyRaucous.com, which is their social network, to Indie Public, which is a social network for people who are crafters and who are selling their wares and showcasing their wares using photos and videos and discussions, to the Brooklyn Art Project, which is a social network for Brooklyn artists and their fans sharing artwork, sharing videos, to 2diabetes.com, which is actually a social network for people who are affected by diabetes. And my favorite aspect of what Manny Hernandez has done with 2diabetes is he created s2diabetes.com and created a complete mirror social network in Spanish, taking advantage of the fact that we offer you the ability to choose from a set of drop-down language options, as well as choose your own language and import that file.
And how many folks are on these groups? Is it anywhere from a
these
handful
social networks?
to?
Yeah, it's everything from thousands to tens of thousands to hundreds to two.
And some can be private, some can be public.
It's up to you. It's your choice to make it public, private, choose whether you accept invitations, don't accept invitations, which features you have, what it looks like, what you upload in terms of your brand, what your profile questions are. So one of the things that we've seen is, even as people are trying to create, more sort of templatized social networks, they're still generic in what questions are being asked. Well, if you have a social network for wakeboarding and wakeboarding fans, you don't really need to know what their occupation is as much as what lakes do they ride on, and what wakeboarding equipment do they use, and what date. This is my favorite required question. What date did you start wakeboarding? So,
could you just take us really quickly through what they go through? What are the steps in
so you
setting
can
up their
actually
own?
create a social network on Ning in one click. You hit the launch button and you've got a social network.
That sounds too complicated.
But short of that, there's really 4 simple steps. You come, you define what your network's about, you choose which language you want to put it in, you decide whether it's public or private. That's all on one page. The next page is choosing which features you want on your social network and setting them up. The third page is choosing your look and feel, whether it's templates or adding your own custom CSS. And the fourth step is customizing your profile questions. That's it. That's all you have to do to set up a social network on Ning.
Okay. And what networks have you set up?
Oh, well, I have one for my friends, my wedding cabal, because I'm getting married in December. So we have a private social network around getting married. Additionally, my sister actually set up a similar one. But the one within work that I spend all my time on is networkcreators.ning.com, which is our own social network on Ning for network creators. So I'm sure that's sort of meta in some ways, but at the same time, our community of network creators has been phenomenal, and we talk to them all the time, which has been great in terms of helping us continue to make Ning and the platform, exactly what people want it to be.
Okay. Where do you see this going from here in a year or two?
Well, I don't really think just in terms of a year or two. I think that really where the world is going, whether it includes Ning, I think it will, and there are very exciting things going on, at least in our own service. But just like the web, when you give people the freedom to create, the result is tremendous expression and tremendous creativity, and millions of social networks for every conceivable niche, need, interest, language, location, things that you didn't even think were possible, much like we've seen with the web, as well as hundreds, if not thousands, of choices and features for people to choose from in creating the exact right, perfect social network for them and their members, as well as new ways of communicating via social networks, broadly defined, that we can't even imagine today. So I think this is a very exciting world, and one that I wouldn't trade for anything.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, you guys are doing great work, so keep it up, and good luck, Gina.
Absolutely. Thanks.